G'day, welcome back to the channel everyone. I'm going to convert a unused fly rod fishing reel and turn this into a Blackfish fishing rod. So all we've got to do, I've taken off the reel and I'm going to recess another extra butt into the end of this. Just taking the little rubber cap off. So I've just sacrificed one of my old Shimano Sedonas and basically broken off the end of it because it was a broken top, so the second half was unused, the bottom half. So I've just shafted it back in a piece of its original end, and I'm going to epoxy, which I'm going to do here, and join it back through here. So it's going to be stuck in like that, and it gives me the extra butt length so I can cast the bobby cork with the whippy end of the 8'6" fly rod. So with a bit of luck, that'll all come together. I've never done it before, just come up with the idea. It's just sitting up the top. I kept looking at it going, I'm never going to use that. I want to give myself another fly rod anyway. So this is an old Silstar, but one of the good ones. It's old, it's called the Advantage Graphite, and great whippy action. So when it loads up that bobby cork, we're not going to have too many issues letting the fish take the hook without striking and ripping it out of its mouth. So I'll show you what I'm using to stick it down with. Just going to use 206 hardener against the 105 epoxy resin. I'm just going to sacrificing every part of the rod here, using this to mix it up, and then I'll basically run it all through inside of here, inside the hole first before I put that shaft in and coat it all up. And then we'll just harden her up and just see how she sets overnight and see if it worked with the reel on it, and I'll do a bit of a test run. Okay, so we've got our resin 105 and our hardener 206, so it's 5-to-1. I think in this instance it's just going to be a guessing game. I'm not going to worry about pouring into the millage cup. I'm not going to need a lot, so that lid can go back on you. And I reckon that'll be plenty. The lid can go back on you. I reckon I've got about 3 minutes before it goes off, so without further ado, I'm just going to give that a few good mix spin-offs with that little graphite piece that I took off. Give this a minute mixing. Once I feel like it's starting to get a little bit firmer on the mix, I'll apply it all over the end of this one, right along the edge of there. Also run it down the hole in here. If you can see it, it's pretty hard to see, but there is a hole within the hole. And we'll give that a 24-hour dry time. I mean, someone's probably already done this, but I thought I'd give it a go and see if it worked. I'm not going to enforce too much pressure on these rods. It's going to have a really nice whippy action at the end of this fly rod. If someone else has already done it, leave it in the comments what you've done and how you manage it. It's probably a lot better than this idea. You might have used a steel shaft inside of it, but I figured I'll just, whatever I had here, I'll use. And it's all about collecting some green weed and having a go. It's starting to get a bit firm now. Alright, so liberal with the application. Let's make sure it's well and truly got a lot of this resin all up the end of that. Fantastic. There's plenty on there now. And get some up the other corner. It's actually comes in quite handy, this half piece of graphite. Run it straight down that tube without too much fuss. Give it a bit of drying time before I add it together. And we'll jam it in and add a bit more on the outside. I can always sand it back up. It looks a bit messy when it's drying. After it's dried, sorry. Sorry, camera work's not too fresh. I could have used the GoPro. Alrighty. I think we've got plenty going on there now. I think also too, I've still got the original reel seat from the fly rod, so I might still be able to use that if I want to have a bit more fight. Put the reel further forward, if that makes sense. Not like you're going to fight anything too big. It's getting tacky now. So, moment of truth. We're going to apply the two pieces together. It's going to just give it a bit of a twist on the way in. You can feel it already grabbing quite well. All I've got to make sure is that I line up my reel seats equally with, you can see, the end, the eyelets. So if I can match it up here, equal to this, we're laughing. And give it some drying time. Put that up there. And that there is pretty much where I want it. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to give that a bit of time to dry. I'll just add a little bit more of the epoxy over here as well. And give that a bit of better opportunity to dry up and glass out. For more strength, if anything. I mean, if it breaks in the middle, it's so be it. It was an attempt. I don't think I'm going to exert too much pressure on there. Okay, that'll do. Beauty. So we have in the making one fly rod converted to our Blackfish rod. So I'm just going to let that sit overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow and just see how it goes. See you then. Okay, so we're given it a couple of days drying time, and it's come up really strong on that join. Very happy with the result. So we'll see when we get out there how good that's going to be on the fish, but I wouldn't think I'll be exerting this much pressure on the fish anyway. So we've gone from an 8.6 to a 9.7, just under 3 meters. I know they're about 10'6" for a Blackfish rod. This is going to be enough just to get me off the inside rocks, not so much ocean rocks. And we'll take it out when I get a chance to get some green weed, and we'll see how we go from there. But there you go, guys, that is basically the rod. As strong as ever at this stage. Alright, see you soon.